Jaime.
West. Nah, just go ahead.
That's right. And who's your the boy?
Los señores, este día del placer maravilloso, en tu salto me encuentres gustoso y tranquilo tu fiel corazón. Vine feliz en el mundo, sin que nadie perturbe su mente. Recordemos una vez en la gente con las conchas y perlas del mar. Bendiga este día venturoso y bendiga la tierra que adore, que los ángeles cantan el coro por los años que vas a cumplir. Las estrellas se visten de gala y la luna se viene de engaño al saber que hoy es día de su santo. Dios bendiga este día de placer. Celebremos con gusto, señores, este día de placer tan dichoso, que los ángeles cantan el coro y tranquilo tu fiel corazón. El recuerdo ha quedado de la infancia que al fin ya pasó. Celebremos este día tan dichoso, tus amigos, parientes y yo.
Where's Mark? Okay, Mark, this time we're going to have a little noise.
But I cried.
Well, there's your honey.
Well, Maria here. I'm here bringing blankets.
See somebody else?
I know.
Tú eres la tristeza y de mis ojos que lloran en silencio.
pipí.
Yo sé bien que estoy afuera, pero el día que yo me muera, sé que tendrás que llorar. Llorar y llorar. Llorar y llorar. No más como quisiste, pero vas a estar muy triste. Con dinero y sin dinero, siempre lo que quiero es la ley. No tengo trono ni reina, nadie que me comprenda, pero sigo siendo el rey. Una piedra en el camino me enseñó que mi destino era rodar y rodar. Rodar y rodar, rodar y rodar. Después me dijo un arriero que no hay que llegar primero, pero hay que saber llegar. Con dinero y sin dinero, como siempre lo que quiero, y cada vez la ley. No tengo trono ni reina, ni nadie que me comprenda, pero sigo siendo el rey.
Solamente una vez, traté.
Volver. 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 She decided that she wanted.
About as big as I am.
Qué bonitos ojos tienes, debajo de esas noches, debajo de esas cejas. Ellos me quieren mirar, pero si tú no los dejas, pero si tú no los dejas, ni siquiera parpadear. Malagueña, y salerosa, besar tu labios quisiera, y besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa. Si por pobre me desprecias, yo te concedo razón, yo te concedo razón. Si por pobre me desprecias, ándale, yo ahora te ofrezco riquezas, yo ofrezco mi corazón, yo ofrezco mi corazón a cambio de mi pobreza. Malagueña salerosa, que eres linda y hechicera, que eres linda y hechicera, como el candor de una rosa. Como el candor de of these people.
Is this your grandma?
Que en un día domingo te arrancar. Iba con la mira de llegar al norte, habiendo sabido toda la rienda, la silla y se fue a puro pelo. Sobre blancas tierras calladitas, entrando en el llegaste sin agua, por Culiacán y hacia la quedando. Cuentan que en los mochis ya se iba cayendo, que llevaban todo de los hijos a pasar por Sonora y el Valle del Yaqui le dio su libertad. Dicen que cojeaba de la pata izquierda y a pesar de todo siguió su aventura. Se fue por la borja y por Mexicali sintió que moría. Subió paso a paso por la rumorosa, llegando a Tijuana. Se fue a Rosarito, que no quiso echarse hasta ver el Ensenada. Y este fue el corrido del caballo blanco, que salió un torito de Guadalajara.
Okay, you gotta dance. Come over here. Come on. Okay, girls. That's your partner, Terry. Oh, oh shoot. That would have been good.
Jaime. Jaime. Oh, Jaime.
Este amor apasionado, tanto mortal, por volver, hoy camino a la locura, y aunque tú me torturas, sé querer, nos dejamos hace tiempo, pero me llegó el momento de perder. Tú tenías mucha razón, pero ya no pasó al corazón. Y me muero por volver. Y volver, volver. Jane, his wife.
What'd you tell Peter why you didn't fix that basketball goal today? Because we were coming over here. We're going to fix it in the morning. What time? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Play that.
Which one?
Reinalda. When my mother used to make it all the time.
The mini falda?
corazones de banda, chamarra de cuero, traigo punteado el sombrero. Que a veces a raíz saltaba, pero le gustaba pagar los mariachis, la plata no le importaba. Porque era ranchero, era indio suriano, era hijo de buena mata. Muy vendado, muy ancho de espaldas, su rostro mal encacheado. Negra mirada, que le daba al tigre de la montaña. Gabino Barrera, de Ramón Pérez, hijos, por donde quiera. Por eso en los altos, donde él se paseaba, se la tenían sentenciada. Que lo asesinaron, quería de ver a su amada. Deseoso descargas de bounce sonaron, sin darle tiempo de nada. Murió como mueren los hombres de su apagados. Por una manera me dio como pierden los labios en los tamados. Quiero decirte algo y que quizás no esperes, doloroso tal vez. Escúchame, a mí que me duele el alma. Yo necesito hablarte y así lo haré. Nosotros que fuimos como hicimos, son maravillosos, romance tan divino. Que nos queremos algo, debemos separarnos, no me preguntes más, no es falta de cariño, te quiero con el alma.
I don't think so.
Te juro que te adoro, que no me des mi amor y por tu bien te digo adiós.
Dolores. Dancing Dolores. Dolores. Get up here.
El amor hicimos un
Mommy,
sol
come on.
maravilloso.
Yeah.
estés a mi lado. Con gran diferencia. Ni siquiera.
Well, I can't believe not only being 70, but being married for 43 years.
You describe that girl, the ghost. Is that her up there? Who? The ghost that you've been talking about all these years?
I hear it all the time.
I was telling T. No, she is that girl.
He slept in that room last night.
That's right. Hold up. I had a bus full of source guys. The special bus.
HL just picked up that.
That's what I just said.
That girl.
We all saw
Bad news.
Yeah, I know.
It's over.
He's telling her, you know, I'm a vice president of operations at the bank in Austin, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna be coming here.
Well, I don't think she's from here, maybe. I don't know. That's Tom.
I guess not as many, man. Over 30 years ago. You just start telling everyone. Okay, that's it, Mark.
I guess so. Everybody's coming in to thaw out. Is it over?
Yes.
You bring Jacob in? Then say, all right, you got your full hour then, I guess.
They're coming.
Yeah, turn it off now.
Oh, that's fine. We're gonna Just keep taping. Wait, wait. Have enough tape for us.
Almost! We got the press right here.
Yeah, that first one.
Gonna set off the smoke alarm.
Yeah, I know. Wait. Let me get over here.
No less than 70 emails going back and forth to each other about what we wanted to do for Dad for his 70th birthday to honor him. And he's always been there for us, and we want to let him know that we're here for him too. So what we did is we came up with this thing of 70 things that we love about Lou. And at first we took it as a challenge because we didn't know if we could come up with 70 things. So what we did is
We've been working on it since January.
so we broke it up between the families, and each one of us did 10. Each one of the brothers and sisters did 10 things, and Mom did 10 things too. And hers was the last list to come in because it did take her so long. We wanted to read.
To make some up.
Yeah. We wanted to read these for my dad, for you, Dad, because we love you, and there's at least 70 reasons in here why. So Mom didn't want to read hers in public. I'll let you read that privately. But I'll read you mine. I love the fact that he has never made any of my kids feel like they were anything less than his own. We love his loving and accepting ways, and that came from Linda, and me too. His generous nature and his ability to forgive and look on the bright side of things, that's from Linda too. He's consistent, even when he's grouchy, and he can gripe or laugh about anything. And number 4, he's the only one in the family that can outdo me in math and Scrabble.
Because you haven't played me yet.
Number 5, he taught me how to appreciate the outdoors, the weather, the stars, and the awesome wonder of God's creation. Number 6, I can count on him to tell me the truth, and he always seems to have the right answer. Number 7, when I was growing up and I fell on my face, he would let me learn a hard lesson. Then he helped me up no matter how stupid a thing I did. He taught me the importance of doing things right, even when it was the hard thing to do. 8, he taught me the value of a good sense of humor and when to apply it. How to say yes sir and yes ma'am, and how to look someone straight in the eye when I talk to them. He taught me how to respect myself and not worry about trying to make people like me. Number 9, he let me know that no matter what I choose to do in life, I should do my best at it and do it better than anyone else. That it was my attitude that made the difference and that I could do whatever I made up my mind to do. He also taught me it was okay to cry. And number 10, this is from Audrey. I love his cornball jokes and his good taste in women. No. Margie.
Thank you, son. Love you, Dad. Love you.
I love Dad because he always used to check the windows and us when there was a storm when we were kids. And because he always has a joke, even though it's a bad joke, he always has one. And because he makes all his food and his meals look so good. Because he grounded me when I needed grounding and gave me wings to fly when I was ready. Because he has a gift of wisdom and I can always count on his words to comfort me. Because he's always there for all of us, including his grandchildren. Yet somehow he lets us find our own answers to our problems, which makes us stronger. Because he's a good friend to his grandchildren. Because he gives my mom flowers now instead of when she's not here. Because he worked so hard for us when we were kids, including Boy Scouts, band boosters, athletics, lassos, going to all the games, knowing all our teachers, knowing all our friends, letting us be our own person, never judging anyone and accepting everyone for just being himself. And because he loves me and my husband, my children, and even Cosmo.
Go, Lasso. Where's Trisha? Thank you, honey. Thank you.
Trisha.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, because you also dance.
Okay.
Okay.
I got these from my kids mostly.
Oh.
Because he's hilarious. Ben. He makes me laugh. Jenny, you'll see a theme here. Because he's chimuelo. Mark.
Okay, Mark.
He's jolly, Ben.
Jolly.
He makes corny marine jokes. Because he's not the big S anymore. That's from Amy. Because he's very friendly, Ben. Because he loved me first. He grows potatoes really well. And he's the very best father, grandfather, and father-in-law in the whole world. We love you,
Thank
Daddy.
you, honey. I just want to know if we get to 80, can we use the same 10? And
Can I take your plate?
yeah, might as well. Here.
Mikey.
All right, Dad, I had to think long and hard about these. The top 10 reasons why I love you. And really, it was very easy.
It was really easy.
Because there's so many reasons. I could come up with 50, or 70 myself. The number one reason I love you is because you love me, and because you love me, I'm gonna cry too. Because you love me unconditionally. You know, there's no strings attached to it. You just love me, and that's the way a dad should love a son. Because you love my family, my wife, and my children unconditionally, and with all my heart.
I cried the whole time I read that.
Because you're my father, my dad and my pop, and each one of those is different. You're my father because you set the rules, you raised me, you gave me the discipline I needed growing up. You're my dad because we played ball together.
It's not his funeral, Peter.
I know it. We're all gonna laugh at his funeral. The funeral will be easy, Dad.
This is the warm-up.
Because you're my father, my dad, and my pop. You're my father because you set the rules. You're my dad because you played with me. You let me wrestle with you on the floor. All the fun things we did growing up. And you're my pop now because you're just my pop. So those three things. Because you made our house happy and a safe place to grow up. I always knew this was a place I could come to at any time and feel safe. Because you made your family a priority. Because I know that we were always the first thing in your life, and we always felt that way growing up. And that taught me a lot about how to raise my family and my children. Because you taught me to never quit, and you taught me to push to excel. And that's something that's carried me through my entire life. I remember as a kid when I wanted to quit Pop Warner football, and, the way you just talked to me. And it's something that I just still have inside of me that I use every day. Come on, number 7. Because you sacrificed so much to give us a better life, for everything that you did just to get us to where we are today. For what you went through as a child to make a better life for yourself, and just what you did to have your children have a better life. You really are my role model. You're the man that I admire the most. Because I see so much of you in myself, much to Terry's dismay. There's a lot of me, a lot of you and me.
Even the hair.
Even the hair.
Hey, Trip.
Because you taught me the morals necessary to live a happy life. Taught me well what was important, what I should do, how I should act, and how I should be. And lastly, because you taught me the values that I need to live a productive life, how to be a healthy, productive adult, and I love you for that.
Things I love about me, then change the name to Dad. It was easier that way.
Same thing.
Dad always gives us a reason to laugh, whether it's one of his corny jokes, a story about one of his 17 grandkids, or Uncle Tom.
Oh my goodness.
Or even a funny story from Mom about something that Dad didn't hear right. I always know that I'll laugh when Dad is around. Dad taught me how to laugh. Number 2, Dad's crazy about my kids and they're crazy about him. Even though we don't see Louie the Bluey more than a few times a year, he's as close and as loving with them as he ever was with any of us. He makes my kids feel special and loved the same as he did for us when we were kids. Dad taught me what it's like to feel loved, and he taught me how to love my own family. Dad's number one priority has always been his family, has always been our family. He's never sacrificed a day with the family for a day at the office. His goal in life was never to be rich or powerful or the CEO of a company. His goal was to raise a good and loving family, and in accomplishing that goal, he is the wealthiest, most respected man I will ever know. Dad taught me what's really important in life. Dad never backs down from a good fight. If he has an opinion, he'll let you know. And if he feels strongly about it, watch out. And if you disagree with him, God help you. He'll argue it until you're sick. And I see the same strong will and stubbornness in my kids, and it makes me proud. Dad taught me to be passionate in my beliefs and stand up for what is right. Number 5. Dad was more than a role model when I was a kid. He was my hero. I still remember the day I lost my captain's hat on Tom's boat. I was really heartbroken. I used to fantasize about flying airplanes and being an officer and growing up to be like Dad. Dad gave me someone to admire and someone to look up to, and I still do. I think someday I'd like to have 17 grandkids at my 70th birthday party. Dad taught me that I can accomplish my dreams. Page 2. Number 6. Dad has always been there for me. On every important day in my life, whether it was my wedding day or just one of the kids' birthdays, I always knew that I can count on Dad to be there. And just being there, even if we don't have a lot of time for conversation, makes me know that things are okay and that I'm safe. No matter how old we get, he'll always be my dad. Dad taught me that commitments are forever. Number 7. Dad lets my kids jump on his back. He still knows how to give a good horsey ride. Dad has always been great with kids, even when the kids were brats. And I have in parentheses, Busch Gardens, 1977. The best memories of my childhood are from Marble Falls, Shakey's Pizza, and the San Pedro Drive-In. Dad taught me that kids need to have fun. Number 8, Dad's a great couch potato. I used to love watching Abbott and Costello and Tarzan with him on Saturdays, and then the Dallas Cowboys on Sundays. Even watching Eyewitness News was fun with Dad. But don't dare change that channel if he's asleep during a golf tournament. Hey,
I was watching that.
Hey, I was watching that. Sure, Dad. Dad taught me how to enjoy a good weekend with a remote. Dad can't sing, he can't cook either, and he can care less. I turned out the same way, and I'm glad. There are a lot of things that I can't do and will never be able to do, but there are many other things that I know I can do better than anyone else around. Being a father is one of them. Dad taught me that it's okay to have faults, and you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect dad. And finally, the number one reason why I love Dad is because Dad married Mom. And without Mom, there would be no Louie.
Right.
Not only did he find the perfect wife, he also found the perfect mother for all of us. And in choosing Mom, Dad taught me what to look for in my own perfect wife, and how to show my wife and kids that I love them. With Mom by his side, Dad taught me how to be a good husband, and most of all, Dad taught me how to be a good dad.
Oh, thank you. Very
We always save the best for last.
Oh, watch out.
And we all know Dad loves me the best. I love that he always seems to have a compliment ready for me just when I need it most, and somehow Dad can make me believe anything he tells me. I love that he taught us so many good and important things in life, all by example. I love the way he tells extremely corny jokes and laughs out loud at all of them. I love the way...
I just said you're jolly.
I love the way he can tell a great story about anything. I love that he's always willing to cook a great brisket, anytime, any place. I love the way that he was at every function that was important to us, no matter how far he has to drive. And EJ wrote, I love the joy his visits bring to Hannah, Sam, and Jake. And Hannah wrote, I love the way he lets us hang on him and jump on him, and he doesn't ever get mad. Sam wrote, I love the way Grandpa lets me bite his butt. And Jake said, Jake thought about it, and he said, I love Grandpa because he always sits under the tree with me.
Oh, thank you.
We love you, Dad.
Love you, guys. Wait a minute. Let me get it. Just give me a little, a couple of minutes.
Not a joke.
No. I'm overwhelmed by what my family. That includes my wife, my children, my grandchildren, and everybody else here that I love. That's right. And
I always, the biggest thing for me was after we got married and we started having children and all, and I thought, in the beginning I got scared. And then later on, praying and all, I decided that God loved me so much to bring me the wife that I married and to give me 6 of his beautiful children to take care of. And I always wondered, I need to take care of these children because they're not mine, they're God's children. And if I don't do the right thing for my children, I'm going to have to pay for it. So you see, it wasn't that I was so industrious and all that. I was afraid that I would fail. And that table right there can tell more stories than anybody else. We always had supper together at that table. Nobody could get up and leave unless they had permission. If they have a gripe, we did it right there. If Paul said something about Margie throwing up while he was trying to eat, you know, we settled it before they got up, and it would be okay. Another thing is, you guys think a lot about the things that you've just said, but you know, your mother and I had a lot of secrets from you. We never argued in front of you because we didn't want you to do the same when you grew up. If we had something to discuss and we didn't discuss it together, we'd get in our room and hash it out. Sometimes she won, sometimes I did. But it was okay because you guys didn't have to worry about it. I know that I'm very proud of a couple of my sons. They were so industrious that they made keys for my car when I wasn't around. And I mean,
You didn't have to make them for you.
Yeah.
You didn't have to make them. We already have them.
And the joy of my life today, I don't know how many more years I have, but I tell you what, I'll be happy forever because of my grandchildren. They're my joy. And I expect to have great-grandchildren sometime. I mean, why am I looking over there and over here? So, thank you with all my heart. I don't deserve all the praise you've given me, but it makes me feel good. And I don't know what verse I wrote for me. But anyway, thank you for this day. It's beautiful. It's the best day of my life.
Love you, Grandpa.
We love you, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
A toast to Louie Temez.
Louie the Bluey.
We love you, Dad.
I'll drink to that.
And the big ass.
Okay, but what were those pictures you